Hi, I'm Ryan Southworth with Rocket Dad, where we encourage dads to spend time with their kids building rockets. This video, we're going to go over putting the coupler in and the next body tube. So that will be exciting to make the rocket larger now. Now that we finished kind of most everything that's on here.
All the hard parts.
All the hard parts. So we'll get that on. And then we're going to go into this. What's this called, Ben?
The eBay.
Called the eBay. The eBay is, what does eBay stand for?
Electronics bay.
Electronics bay, or some people like to call it the avionics bay. In here is where you will have some electronics. And you would have like your altimeter, you would have a battery to power that, you would have wires that would come off the altimeter, and you would have charges, little baby explosions, that will happen inside your rocket. All to be done very carefully, very safely, whenever we're dealing with any of that. But we will be mounting altimeter here, have a battery will power it, and then wires will come out, and we'll have one charge on this for my certification. I am super excited. Then you can also have GPS on here too. So that is your eBay. You have a, what's this piece called?
The sled.
The sled. If you're
Make sure
looking
you go sledding on it.
Go sledding on it. Yep. Maybe something a little bit bigger, and don't use your nice rocket sled. Maybe get something different. Then these guys, what are these called?
Those are called, get it? Bulkhead.
Bulkheads. They look like centering rings, but we're not centering really anything up with this, but this is a bulkhead. So it's just a large plate, and this sled will be hooking into this. All right, we'll set these off to the side and get to those later. Let's get building. All right, why don't you grab the 30-minute epoxy. And my cord here is kind of sliding out a little bit. I do want to kind of have this down to make sure that nothing's kind of in the way for the coupler to go in. Before you put your coupler, glue it in. Always do a good dry fit for everything. That looks good right there. And feels good. And then this is going to go on there and slide in, and then that will go on. So let's go ahead and mark halfway on this first. Grab the tape measure and the pencil. All right, how long is this? How long is that?
8 inches.
8 inches, half of 8? 4. This does not have to be exact. Perfect. Thank you. So we want to glue up half of this. Actually, we're going to glue up half of it first, slide it in, then we'll glue up the other half, and then slide the body tube on top. Now, little trick on here when I was watching Tim's video was when I slide this on, the half mark is right here. And if it goes down a little bit further, it hits that button just a tiny bit. It's okay. It's probably 1/4 inch that it slides in a little bit extra, and it's hitting the glue point on that button, and that's fine. Normally you would probably glue this in halfway, let that sit up real good, and then push this on so you know that your centering ring is centered in there. But with that kind of block right there for us, we'll just kind of glue both together. All right, let's get a glue in. So we're going to have enough glue. We're using 30-minute epoxy, so that gives us a little bit more time. It's a little bit thinner. And I kind of like that in the couplers. I've seen Tim do that before, and that was a fantastic idea. The 30-minute epoxy is what we'll be using here today. All right, which color would you want?
Yellow, not.
Yellow.
Yellow, not.
Not. Okay, no. Trick is making sure you get the same amounts. I did order a scale, so a lot of people will kind of zero your scale, measure out some, and then put other ones so you know you're getting exact amounts. I have not gotten that yet, but we will do our best. It does not have to quite be perfect, but we'll do our best on this. So let's get this out.
I should do mine first, and then we won't have as much stink.
Yeah, one of them stinks usually. Flip it upside down so you get your bubble.
No.
Usually there's a bubble in there, so you want to go first? Okay,
yes.
Go. That's good. All right. Get it on kind of right on one side, like at the bottom, but kind of at one side. Pull your head back. There you go. go. Now we want enough to do both couplers.
And it's going down, it's going down, it's going down.
All right, let me see how much that is. Keep it flat. That's probably, we'll do a little bit more. Good. All right. Get the cap on that. Now we'll do yellow one. Try to get about the same amount. This one does usually smell kind of funky. All right.
But I don't think it smells as bad.
Yeah, we had some other 15-minute epoxy that smells a little worse. But I think that looks good. It's about half.
Is low.
Perfect.
Like throw up.
Yeah, you throw those over. Throw those over there, please. All right, now we're gonna mix this up. Mixy, mix, mix. Want to get really,
Eggs.
just like the eggs. Scramble those eggs. Do not use a blender or a fork. We'll mix this up. Hope we have enough. If we don't, we can mix up some more.
Yep.
So as you're mixing this up, really make sure you're scraping the bottom and then scrape it off on the sides. So you make sure. How'd that feel? I'm glad we caught that on video. Hopefully we don't fast forward that part. How was your knee?
That hurt.
Or your shin? Felt pretty good. All right, I think that's mixed up pretty good. Oh. All right, now we're gonna pull some epoxy off. I'm gonna grab a what's this called?
Lock it up. Lock it up.
Lock it off. Wax paper. Put some wax paper down just so I don't get my table too messy. But we'll go ahead and get this, and we're going to put epoxy over this. And this might be only enough for one side, but we'll see. But it's 30 minutes.
You might need a little bit more.
I didn't realize, but yeah, I think this will be enough for this, and then we'll have to mix up some more.
That's gonna hurt in the morning.
That might leave a mark right there.
Oh, I got a cut from that.
Ouch.
Little fat cut.
Give you some character. Building character.
Just was trying to stretch and then. Oh, bam!
Well, bam. All right, I did use all of the epoxy for this. Hopefully that is enough.
Just enough.
All right, it's looking good. Let's set that there. See any extra in here, pull out. I'm actually surprised it took all of that.
I'm not surprised at all. I was like, you think that's gonna be enough?
Well, you had a better eyeball on that than I did. All right. So we're going to call that good. Again, we're just doing half the side here. Putting off any of my extra. All right. Let's
Make sure to spin it as you put it in.
So when you put it in, good call, Ben. When you put it on, we're going to give it a little twist. And we're going to see some of that epoxy come out. It's going to go over the edge. And that's okay. But we give that spin on it, makes it kind of mush around a little bit more. And you see our mark anywhere? Oh, there's our mark right there. All right, so that's a good spot right there. We'll just grab one sheet of that.
3.
We'll just grab one. All right.
I thought that was a lot of epoxy.
And so a lot of epoxy came out on this. So as I kind of pull this off, I'm gonna pull off some of that. Or use this one, we'll use that one last. So use that, pull that off. We really want to make sure we get, that's all right. Actually, we could have used this epoxy. Actually, as I think about it, we could have used this epoxy up on this side.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're just gluing these pieces together. So we'll put that up there. It's 30-minute epoxy, so we have time. So let's mix up some more. When we get the epoxies ready, start mixing some more.
Yep, but also there's a lot.
It's fine.
Still on the edge.
We'll wipe that edge off.
When we're done.
Yeah. We might as well. Yeah, it's gonna goo out everywhere when we put the next one on, so we'll wipe that off. Let's get this mixed up quick. Let's go put this on now.
Do it all out.
All right.
Now start from the top.
Now we're at the top.
So gravity will take it though.
So once we get this on, we're going to want to get off any extra we have on that body tube. Especially being that it's 30-minute epoxy, it should be able to...
Should we pull it back out to the half mark?
We can. It's just going to push. It's just going to push back in, and it's only about a 1/4 inch extra that it went in. So a 1/4 inch is not going to be. It's going to be just fine. This is all glued in. And if you want to really focus where to put your glue or the epoxy, you'll want to put it more out towards the edge here. Yeah, good call. I didn't see that. Thank you. You want to put it more out to the edge, because when you push that on, it's going to spread. It's going to spread down. You'll get more glued surface area. All right, I think that's most of it.
I swear I saw a little blob. Ah, there's a blob.
Oh yeah, good blob.
Blob.
All right, get that. I don't think we need that anymore. That's where we want to put this. And our big blob. Good call.
I love the beautiful sound.
Beautiful sound. All right, that looks good enough.
Ooh, get right there.
Huh? It's fine. It's all gonna all smush together.
Smushy, dushy.
All right, I do want to get my hands a little cleaned off before I grab my body tube. I don't want to get more on that. All right, here we go. Put this on.
Yeah.
Remember, giving it a little twist as it goes on.
Twist. And let it fall down, let it fall down. Let it fall down, let it fall down. There you go. All right.
So we went slow on that because I got the glue to go on that. All right. I'm excited. Let me get...
Ah, just leave it there and it'll look cool.
It looks just nice, right?
Not.
I'll get a big chunk of this off and then you can help clean it up a little bit more. Really got that stuck in your head, don't you?
I do. It's completely stuck in there.
All right.
Puppet show.
The puppet show. It's the puppet show. Okay. I'll use this one to finish that up. You can just throw that away. Make sure that's nice and tight on there. All right.
And then now we need sandpaper to scrape it off.
No, we'll let this dry and we probably rub some sandpaper, probably a high grit, like a 320 or something like that, over this. And I think you can also, at this point, you could use...
Don't you think we should match up the spirals?
I
I think that'd be kind of cool.
think we'll be all right. We're going to paint it. Probably still see them, but I think we're good. We'll run a little sandpaper over that after that's dried really well. And we can move on. All right, so we're going to let that guy sit over there. It's getting bigger. This rocket again will be 5'9".
5'9".
So as tall as I am, just a couple. I'm 6'2", so it's just going to be a few inches shorter than me.
2 inches taller than Sophie.
All right, we don't need epoxy anymore. Put that in there. All right, now we're on to our eBay. So on the eBay, actually let's throw that away. Throw that away, please. Stop whistling. Seriously.
I have a hump. A hump. I think that's the only way to get it out of my head is to get it in my head.
All right, we're gonna leave that right there and use that later. That was fun. All right, let's look at the next steps here. Next steps do say to tie on the fabric onto the onto this. I'm going to wait, let that fall out. And as I said that, I do want to just peek at the coupler down here and see how. I think it looks good. I am going to grab a little bit of paper towel, and in where the coupler is right about here. Just want to rub some paper towel around that, just so we don't have any drips of epoxy down in there. So I really don't want that on the shock cord. Tiny bit.
While I'm dealing with this really stubborn wax.
These bulkheads now, we're going to want to sand these. Can you grab the sandpaper? So you want these to fit in real easily go in here, because these will go in and out. So you want these to go in nice and easy. So we're going to sand both of these edges. And when it goes in, you're going to have the Apogee logo on the outside. So you can also give off the edge a little bit here as well. So you would sand flat, and then you would taper it. You can taper it a little bit as well. So I'll do that on both of these. We'll probably fast forward that part. All right, back. That was fast. These are sanded pretty well. They fit in really nice. We'll go ahead and now dust off. We're still going to need this. All right, we got those sanded. Next steps are to glue in these pieces.
Little baby guys.
Little baby guys. So these pieces we're going to glue on. When you glue these on, it's opposite side of the Apogee logo. So you glue onto this side. Always do a good dry fit first before you glue anything. And that's what that's going to look like. Now I have to think to myself, what pieces, what edges are actually touching? So where do I need to put the glue? So I don't need to put glue right here. I only need to do glue here, here, and here. And obviously on this side too. So grab the wood glue, please. Thank you.
Welcome. I totally handed that to you.
So did. All right.
No, you don't say wood glue.
So grab a sheet of.
So it's like, where's the wood?
Can you grab a sheet of paper towel, please? All right. So now we're gonna put this on. Quick. Whoop, almost came out fast. So we're gonna put some here. Here.
Do we ever do a rocket that had like those?
Nope.
I swear I remember doing something just like this.
Okay. That is the areas you need to get the glue on. Let's grab that paper towel. Thank you, sir. And we're going to push that in.
Just like
that. Now we're going to wipe this off. If we get any glue in that hole, we're going to want to
definitely take it out.
Definitely get the glue out of that hole. So let's first wipe that off. And really rubbing your finger around it can create a little fillet, which would strengthen that up a little bit. There is a little bit of glue in the hole, and we can use the actual bolt. Sorry if you get a little bit of glue on this.
No, just I'll fold this up.
Nope, we're not going to do that. let's glue the other one on, and then we'll get it cleared out with the eye bolt.
Just stick it in. I don't want to get glue in that. Probably be hard to get out.
Nope.
Is that what Tim did?
Yep, exactly what Tim did.
Alright, okay. This is
Tim's the man. He knows
Rocket.
far better than we do. All right, there's that one. Wipe that off. Pinkies are smaller, easier to make a smaller fillet. This is wood glue, so this will dry pretty fast and pretty clear. Usually thins out, not like the big thick epoxy. All right, so that looks pretty good there. Let's go ahead and grab this. Thank you, sir. We're going to kind of just make sure that's clear through right there.
Oh, I thought that actually like screwed in there.
No, yes, it needs to slide through. So we're gonna set that up here and let that set up and dry. We'll now wipe that off. Perfect. So the next step was to glue on the bulkhead with the slot. And we're gonna let that stuff set up first, and we'll glue this on in a bit. But right now, while that's kind of setting up a little bit, we're now gonna work on the coupler, which is our eBay. So on here, kind of showed before, this piece right here, this ring is going to be in just a little bit. I think it's like a 1/4 inch. And then that's what's holding our, that's what's gonna hold in our bulkhead. So we'll glue the ring in, and then we're gonna set it like that, and then we're gonna push the ring down. Pushing that ring down will get it and keeping it so this is flat on the surface. It'll get that ring exactly where it needs to be. Then once we feel good about that, we'll very carefully pop out the bulkhead, and that's gonna keep our ring, it's gonna stay in exactly where it needs to be. All right, so let's glue that in.
With epoxy?
So with not epoxy, we'll use wood glue for that. Wood glue is really good on like the cardboards together. It's really good for that. The epoxies, that's more for the fins and that kind of thing. I did use it for joining those couplers together, but I kind of like that on the couplers better. Yeah. All right, so we'll throw this on. You don't want to get any glue in that 1/4 inch, the thickness of this. You don't want to get any glue in that area. If we do, we'll need to wipe that off. So we'll glue that in now. Oops, and the first thing I did is get glue in that spot. Perfect. You got me we need probably another paper towel.
And another one.
And I got more glue there. I am not doing super hot on this. All right.
Steady hands.
So we're going to take and we're going to smear it around a little bit. Got some more up there. Okay. And we're going to move kind of quick. Wood glue makes me nervous when we're gluing these kind of things in. I will dry off a little bit of that where I went over a little. That looks good. All right, and then now as we put this in, we'll put it in a little of the way. Give it a little twist. And then we'll get the coupler on, or we'll get the bulkhead on, and we're gonna set that just in place. Flip this over.
Smash it down!
And smash it down. We'll put it over, and we'll push it into place. So that's good there. And then we can push on our ring, push it down, make sure it's good. That looks really good. Happy with that. You can see a lot is smeared out, which is fine. Now we're going to, you can see some of that is smeared out in there. And we're gonna run our finger around that without, very carefully. It's gonna give it a little bit extra strength there.
Forgot.
Always whistling.
Yep, it's my thing.
My thing.
What I do. Can you just like set that over there?
Yeah, let's
right in my face.
Yeah, scoot that over. So we got that smoothed out pretty good. It's okay. That's going to dry up pretty well, and looks good to me. I'll do one more final push on this. Make sure that this looks good, because we get one shot at this. Okay, that looks really good to me. You can see down in there where it has the kind of that fillet there. Or did you see it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Pop this guy out, and we'll give this dry this off just a tiny bit, just to make sure we didn't get any glue on that edge. And we'll glue in the next one. All right, next one. Same kind of thing. Let's get going on it. So I'm going to set this aside now. Oh, actually, we have the switch band. The switch band will eventually drill a hole through this. This piece will be the only piece that you see from the rocket, because this part is going to go down into that part body tube, and then this part will connect the next body tube. We'll actually have a couple rivets, kind of like a rivet. We'll put a row of rivets in there, and so that will kind of hold those together. Then the nose cone goes on top of that.
Right, and so every single time you put new one of these?
No, usually the rivets you don't break. There's rivets and shear pins, and we'll talk about those later.
Oh,
the rivets,
shear pins break.
Shear pins break.
All right.
So those are pins you put in so that then when your ejection charge goes off, it's going to break those, but it keeps it while it's going up, and then your charges will break those
Shear
when
pins
it's supposed to.
Put it together, right?
Correct. All right, that looks good there. We'll slide this back. The instructions say to measure at 3.5. I'm gonna measure at 3.5 for me.
Yes, sir.
Pencil. Oops. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Now we're going to slide this back. Slide this down to where it's supposed to be.
That's good.
That's good right there. And then now we're going to take the pencil and we're going to just mark all the way around. This is only so that we know where to exactly where to put the glue. I think I got it all, but just gives you a good marker of where to put the glue. Slide it either way. You don't have to take it off. Slide it either way. We got our marks right there. Let's throw our glue on.
I love your design.
You like my design?
Yes.
Spirals. Felt spiral. Felt spirally.
Yeah. Some days you just like spiral.
Spiral.
I love spirals. You draw a painting of spirals.
There you go. All right, now we got that there. Now we'll go ahead and slide this into place. Oops, a little bit over.
Little bit.
Just a tiny bit, and we're gonna have to clean this off. I think that's where it's gonna be.
I'll get those last, so first get that.
I think that's where it's gonna be. It's a tiny bit off, but that's okay. Grab that. All right, so that's looking pretty good there. Everything else in there still looks good. Always double check. All that still looks good. So we're gonna let that dry here. Getting glue everywhere. we keep that over there. And we can throw this away. Now we have one last thing to glue what I wanted to get done today. So the last thing, I didn't want to put any of the bolts on yet. So the eye bolts are going to go, both of these eye bolts will go in the middle of the bulkheads. And so remember, when we're gluing this one on, actually this one on, we need to make sure that that hole is lined up where it needs to be. All right, so we're going to take this. That's looking good. I'm gonna leave them as such. Now we're gonna glue this on. So when we glue this on, we gotta remember the Apogee logo is on the top and then Apogee logo on the outside. It's gonna glue in just like this. And let's make sure that you can see that the holes are gonna line up right there. You don't have that backwards. So last one to glue in, buddy. Then you can go do your chores.
Then I can go lay on my bed for 2 hours watching a TV show.
Ooh, a TV show.
Fuller House.
Okay. I'm thinking chores. That's just what I'm feeling.
Maybe Mom will give me some grace.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think Mom will give me a little bit of grace.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Stay tuned for the next episode to find out if you got to rest for a little bit.
Heck yeah, I will. Because I'll just hide.
Will you hide?
Yeah, and then
I might be able to find you.
Bed.
Okay.
Count to 10.
All right. So we got these glued where this is going to touch. Again, just before I glue this, double check where my holes are going to go. So I don't want to glue it like this because that hole's a little higher. Yep. It's going to glue in just like this. Okay. It's going to goo out a little bit, which is what we were expecting. And then now this, you can throw a little fillet by just rubbing your finger. You grab a paper towel, please. Rub your finger on that. Quick, quick. Thank you. It's a huge piece of... Nailed it. So what's important on this is we are going to take the bolts, make sure that that hole's cleared. Good. You take that, hold that, and wipe that off. Now what we want to make sure here is we want to make sure that this is really perpendicular. So my idea for that is to take this. We're going to set this flat on wax paper. Then we're actually going to tape this down just gently so that so I just got a piece of long tape, and then you don't have to get it perfect right now, but we're going to put it on there and we're going to tape it gently down. Not to be hard, just got to hold it in place. And then you can slide the bottom back and forth till we feel that that's perpendicular. If you want to get it to tick, you could put a level on that, make sure it is perfect. But my level's not down here. Don't remember where that went. I'll have to go find that one. But we'll just eyeball that, and that looks pretty good.
How did you get this glue out of here?
Let me see.
I got most of it.
So this, get it kind of thick, and then you can kind of give it a good squeeze, and you twist it. That paper towel is going to go into the grooves of that.
The whole time.
It's good enough. Any extra glue that's in there, when you put the screw on, it's just going to pop those little pieces of glue out. All right. I think we're done for today. Thank you for watching our video on getting the eBay and the coupler put on. We will be back. So please, if you liked our channel, give us a like on this video, and please subscribe, pass along to your friends, encourage other people to build rockets. I'm Ryan Southworth with Rocket Dad, where we encourage dads to spend time with their kids building rockets.